What's up, hip hop fans, and welcome to another edition of Hip Hop Head. My name is Julian Williams. Haven't been around in a while, it's been busy. I actually got cut a few weeks ago, and I think after I got cut, I hadn't even made a video since. But anyway, I've just been really busy lately, and now I have a lot of extra time, so I got a lot of stuff to do. And right now in this video, I'm not going to do a review. I'm going to talk about the state of hip hop at the moment. Really, I think the state of hip hop is actually in a pretty decent state. I do believe that a lot of younger artists who are putting a lot of work into their music is starting to get a little more, I guess, a little more, a little more eyes on them now. A few rappers that I do like this new movement in hip hop. I like Currency. I like Wiz Khalifa. I like Kid Cudi. I like Wale. I even like I even like Charles Hamilton. I like all of these guys that are coming up, and I like the guys from Slaughterhouse. I like all these rappers, and I think these rappers are doing a really good job utilizing the internet to maintain and garner a fan base. And I think now, really in all of music, you have to you have to have an internet following to to garner a big time fan base, because now a lot of people are getting stuff off the internet, downloading the music for free, and rather than buying them. And I'll openly admit there's times that I do just download music, but but if I like the album, I go out and I buy it and support the artist. But if it's an album that I don't think is too good, then I just simply don't buy it. But I remember in the '90s, they would on the radio they would actually play the records on the radio. They would play the full record on the radio. I remember being younger. I was about 16, 17 years old, and I remember on the radio they played all the Blueprint by Jay-Z. They played that whole entire record on the radio. And then, weeks later or months later when Stillmatic came out, they played Stillmatic on the radio. Like the day it came out. They used to play all these records on the radio, but it didn't hurt the album sales. And now, it's more people have, CD burners. And hell, they make like every computer that you have now has a CD burner on it. And anybody can go and get blanks and just copy the music to the CDs. And I remember people used to actually get the tapes, and they would tape the records, and they would copy them on the tapes, and then just copy the tapes and sell them to people around school. That's what they used to do. But now it's a lot different now with the internet. You can get a very good advanced copy of a record, hell, with bonus tracks on it, more than you would get in the store for free. And a lot of people look at that and they're like, okay, I'd rather have this to where I can get even bonus tracks and all this stuff for free than get this where I have to pay $10 or whatever. And at the same time, I do remember what artists used to do in order to get people to buy their records. When pirating, like in 2002, became more evident and became much more of a problem for a lot of these artists. A lot of artists were going from selling like 15 million to like 3 or 4 million. And other than that, artists, artists started to put DVDs in the record, and they had to be a little more creative. They had to offer the fans a lot more to get with the record than what they would get if they went and they downloaded it. And it started to become more evident like in 2002, really 2001, because 2000 to 2001 it started to become a little more evident. But hell, we always had bootlegging. Music has been bootlegged for quite a while, quite some time, but now it's on a higher level, on a higher scope. And I've been looking at sales, and sales really don't matter much to me. But I look at the sales, and I look at a couple years ago, pop music was just dominating the charts, but now hip hop music, hip hop, R&B, all that is starting to. You kind of look at it, and then you have like, it pretty much you see that if you include R&B, they've been doing very us fans, we've been doing very well this year. despite the fact that the album sales are just decreasing constantly. And me personally, I do like to see that hip hop is, being the hip hop head that I am, I do like to see that hip hop is, still maintains its fan base, because a lot of people back in '02, I remember just looking at things on the radio, listening to people on the radio, and looking at people on television saying hip hop's gonna die, hip hop's gonna die, hip hop's gonna die, and just continuously say that. And if you look at the charts now, hip hop is still maintaining that fan base, and hip hop still has a lot of followers. And I do wonder if we didn't have the internet, would hip hop still have that fan base? And I think so. If you look at a lot of the records that are being put out, the problem really is the record labels. The record labels are only out to get good first week sales, and after first, second week sales, promotion's over. If you look at Eminem Recovery, you could tell that they weren't just pushing for first week sales, because if you look at the record, it continuously sold over 100,000 for like the first 8-9 weeks. Until this week, it sold 98,000, but there was a good marketing plan behind it. Eminem was everywhere. He was doing performances. His songs were being played on the radio, and he was just everywhere doing all kinds of interviews. It worked for him. But if you look at Drake, it looked like Drake was only there for first week sales, because after the first week, you didn't really hear much of Drake anymore. Same with Rick Ross. Same with even it was a little bit evident with Big Boy. Big Boy was only doing interviews, and then after that, it was all over. But Eminem continuously did interviews, was continuously stayed in the media, and that's how you market the album. That's don't intend to go for first week sales, but go for sales in general. Just get your music out there, and that's what Eminem did. He got his music out there, and the rest is history. He's still selling pretty well on today's standards of records. I think that Eminem could pull off a couple more number ones possibly, until maybe in between now, September and October. I think he could pull off maybe another number one week, possibly. But I do believe he's going to stay in the top 10 for quite some time, just because of the concept behind his record and the marketing strategy of the record. I think they did a hell of a job putting it together. So anyway, I do believe the state of hip hop is in a very good state. I said state of hip hop in the beginning. I was talking about the state of music, but hip hop is part of music. Hip hop has a great following, and we'll maintain that following. We're going to continue getting more hip hop heads coming around in the coming years. But me, I've been listening to hip hop since 1990. I want to say 93. I've been listening to it since probably 93, 92, 93. But now 2010. I am liking a lot of these newer artists coming out that are taking initiative for the genre. So anyway, guys, thanks for checking out Hip Hop Head. I'll be back with a few more reviews in the coming days. So anyway, guys, peace.